It's like a super old video from my YouTube page. Let me see if I can find it. I'm surprised Lil Bear hasn't found it and is like ready to fucking fly. Let me see. I mean, this is an old one, but I don't even think this is the right one, but this is one of them where I think I talk about privileged blind spots in this. Let me see. Wait, that's the only time I say blind spot? Wait, this isn't it then. Oh, you did link it. Okay.
This is what really frustrates me. What I mean by that is, I understand the necessity of cleaning up language because like certain terms and certain stereotypes have been used as a tool to oppress marginalized people historically. So of course I get that. So of course I understand when people use the F word, for example, like why they're doing that and or why that's problematic. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Like I'm not discounting the entirety of all of that.
I have a different mic. That's why my voice is different. I gotta pee real quick. I'll be back.
I knew you would like that, dude. I knew you would like that space. God damn it. I haven't listened to it yet. Words have power. That's like Witchcraft 101. I love that. Like, the thing I don't understand is, like, when it comes to cancel culture, and when it comes to identity politics as a whole, sometimes, and of course I obviously believe in that, but there are certain elements of it where, like, for example, when we can't fucking get mad at John McCain, even though he's a horrific person, like he's a horrific piece of shit, but we can't get mad at John McCain because the media portrays him as a darling, that he is a rather polite person when the cameras are on. So what? Is it okay that he's a fucking war criminal? Is it a heartwarming moment when a person who sanctioned George W. Bush, a very modern day war criminal who has caused so much unnecessary conflict around the world, or Dick Cheney? Is it heartwarming when George W. Bush shares a fucking chocolate with Michelle Obama at John McCain's funeral? Why? Because they haven't said the fucking N-word? Who's worse, George W. Bush or some random dipshit who doesn't know any better who fucking says the N-word while they're singing along to a song? Let's have that conversation. This is what really frustrates me, because that is the blind spot that we have. That we always assume, like, a lot of people always assume, like, oh, if someone is saying something wrong, there must be an evil person. And it doesn't take into account that, like, people aren't that way. People have bad thoughts. Some people are stupid and they actually say those bad things. And yeah, being good or bad is completely subjective too. Thank you, Brad. You're absolutely right. So that's what genuinely frustrates me when we talk about these sort of when we talk about this sort of stuff. I mean, we just say, like, oh, there's context, there's nuance, but, like, ultimately, okay, look, I'm telling you, George W. Bush tortured people. Literally fucking tortured people. He is one of the worst criminals. I thought.
Hey, what the fuck? Where's the point?
You know, that isn't to say that, fuck, I don't know. That isn't, Jesus Christ, I'm getting a lot of notifications, sorry. The girlfriend tweet has blown up. I said something like, girls out here really trying to go to escape rooms for a date. And a lot of people have reacted to that personally by sending me text messages. Is so fucked up. The same level of empathy is so fucked up. So what's up? What are you gonna do? What are we not canceling those guys? Are we not canceling? When I get upset that people are fucking losing their goddamn minds celebrating John McCain. Because we were talking about the blind spots of cancel culture and how, like, it does have a tendency to go too far. You know what I mean?
This isn't even it.
Yeah, exactly. The civility argument is especially ridiculous because the ones advancing it are Republicans, and you're really.
This isn't it. The tweet. Lamau, girls are really out here trying to go to escape rooms as a date. Like, I'm going to leave my house and do physical activities. What time do I pick you up? I'm very lonely. Damn, what a banger. What a fucking banger, dude. Doing numbers in 2018, yeah. This isn't the video I'm talking about. There's another video out there where I talk about the intersectionality of privilege, and I have yet to find it. One day.
Yes, thank you, Sporcoon. That's exactly what I fucking mean. Like, that's exactly what I mean. And by the way, people got so fucking mad at me when I fucking woke I am personally, and that is damaging. It's damaging because, like, while I don't think we should concede to our oppressors, or I don't think that we should concede to the other side when it comes to really honorable causes, ultimately, like ending systemic racism, like fighting against racism, classism, sexism of all sorts on all fronts. When we do that sort of stuff, when we just like retweet someone dunking on another person to feel better about ourselves and to say like, look at me, I'm being a good ally. That's genuinely like, there are a lot of people in the margins. There are a lot of people who have, there are a lot of people in the margins and a lot of people who are privileged who haven't necessarily had the time to develop an understanding for those that they are marginalizing or oppressing, that we're pushing away because we come across as incredibly authoritarian and incredibly rigid and impossible to fucking reason with. So what I always try to do personally in my life and also in my commentary is try to sell this concept. To try to sell them. To try to sell everyone the talking points that I am dishing out. Rather than, you know, when you are interested in a culture and actually learn about it to integrate it into your life, it's okay, but you shouldn't wear cultural heritages as a costume. I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm a fucking globalist, guys. I am a product of a cultural assimilation and cultural appropriation, all of that. You aren't truly an ally if you haven't told off a Facebook member. That's funny. Like, I'm not. I look and sound like a fucking total white American douche lord, and I get that. But like, I wouldn't be here in front of you speaking these words with this accent and understanding, you know, and having this understanding of American culture without all of the things that I just mentioned. You know? It's usually those that, that's another thing. Yeah, the problem with cultural appropriation is that it's usually those not affected that are the loudest. But I think the line is, does it actually affect a group of people, hinder them from opportunity, versus does it just irritate me? Yeah, that's another thing. Like, I think somewhere along the lines we forgot. I think somewhere along the line we forgot that like people can do mean things and not necessarily be considered toxic. Like, people should be given the opportunity to fail, especially when it comes to comedy. And I know this is a weird thing that I think about a lot. Like, comedy is incredibly important to me. For understanding certain things that I didn't necessarily experience myself. It's demonstrating humility. It's fucking brave a lot of times. Like, it's supposed to be, I don't know. I'm prefacing this by saying that comedy, I place it in a totally different place. I definitely have a higher threshold for when comedians fuck up. I'm just putting that out there, because it's for me at least, like, comedy is incredibly important, and
I'm not gonna watch crime.
And satire is an incredibly important tool to educate people. And the reason why
It seems like you guys are very bored of this though, so I'm gonna end it here actually. Um, I'm gonna run the last ad break of the day. Um, what workout do you do to get your booty so popping? I do squats. Squat a lot. I think Woke Bray is pretty good. Woke Bray is not real. Not a real person. Disappointed later. Woke Bay is a commodity. I've talked about that a lot as well, where like the concept of wokeness is completely commoditized. It's like it's a way to look at people like a brand.